The opinions expressed on this program are solely those of individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of either Spectrum Generations or Time Warner Cable. Mature Lifestyle is made possible by Knowlton Hewins Roberts Funeral Homes and Cremation Service. Our homes are warm and welcoming, and we take care of you and your family like we would our own. Call us anytime. We are here for you.
Hello, welcome to Mature Lifestyle. Spectrum Generations is so pleased to bring you programs that help us to live, laugh, and learn. And today we're really going to learn a lot about how we can communicate online. And we have someone to help us do that, Heidi Werpel. For her age, she is beautifully young, but she's been in the business of communications for some time now. She has an MBA. In addition to that, she's a consultant to businesses. And frankly, today we're going to talk about how we as people can keep in touch with family, friends, and neighbors. So Heidi, first, welcome to the show. But tell me a bit about what you do when you're not helping us on television here. What's your daily life like?
Well, I'm a communications and research consultant on a day-to-day basis. So I work with a lot of different businesses to make sure that they're having the best marketing and communications plans that they can. And in this modern world, that often means social media.
Right, and so if I, as a consumer, want to know about a business, I'm counting on people like you to help that business get their message to me.
Absolutely.
So how do you recommend a consumer access kind of the work you do for businesses?
Well, I think, there's many different ways. There's so many access points now online, as well as, just your traditional mediums, the newspaper and television and things of that nature.
Right, but most businesses would try to have a website.
They certainly would,
and
yes.
Spectrum Generations, I assume, has a website as well.
Yes, they do. They have many mediums now. I think there's a blog.
You're going to help us today know how to access that, but we also want to talk about community. I know the social media means everything to me in terms of keeping up with my family. Talk to us a little bit about how other people who are, if they're not using this technique already, what can they do? And tell me some of the opportunities that people have.
Sure. Well, social media has really changed the way we communicate. In the past, it had to be very face-to-face like we are today.
Right.
But what, as you mentioned earlier, we can do now is go online and really stay connected to people no matter where they are in the entire world. So it's offering us a nice opportunity to stay connected with our family. Go on to these various websites and you can then see pictures, you can discuss via video, and just read basic updates, little posts about how your life is and what's going on.
Now, I understand you've been involved with Facebook for a long time. I must admit I have too, not as long as you probably, but I don't know what I'd do without that. I've just had a brand new grandson and the pictures that have gone all over the place. So I keep up with my grandchildren. How do people do that? Tell us about Facebook and how you can keep up with your family and friends.
Sure. Well, it's really very simple, honestly. The ability is to go there and create one page, one central, almost like a newspaper for yourself of everybody that you care about. And so you get this news feed of what they're doing. So people can then see the pictures, they can hear the messages that they're putting out there, even sometimes what they've seen online or read, and then you can discuss those things back and forth. It really just gives you that opportunity when it's good for you to look into what is going on with other people.
And I find I have 4 adult children. They're scattered, they're very busy, but I can see one at the Patriots game. I can see one with the children skiing, but it's a fabulous way for me to have a window onto their lives.
That's exactly it. Exactly. You give them a window onto your life and they give you a window onto yours, and that ability is a beautiful thing because you feel like you're talking to them every day or however often you decide to log on.
And I think there's another technique that people can talk to each other, not being in the same room, but see each other, called Skype.
That's true.
Could you explain that to us?
Sure. There's actually a number of ways you can do that now. Skype is the most popular website, and that is a technique where with a video camera or a web camera, you're able to see a person and speak with them just like you would on the phone.
And do most
and they see you
laptops like the
back.
one you have here have a web camera? Or is that a special?
Your typical laptop or desktop would not have
Okay.
a web camera on its own, but you can purchase it very
Okay.
inexpensively at many stores. Anywhere that sells laptops or desktops can do that. Though you'll notice that the small tablets like the iPads or even your
Right.
smartphones,
Right.
those do typically have the camera
Okay.
already built in.
So if you don't have it, you can purchase it
You
for
can purchase
an
it.
inexpensive price.
Most definitely.
But it's important to have that piece if
It-
you want to see the other
It
person,
is.
of course.
It absolutely is. You have to have that, and they have to have it as well.
We've all seen with great admiration young men and women who are overseas serving the country, talking to their family and their children, and it helps bring them together over thousands of miles, doesn't it?
It does. You know, whether you're a soldier in Iraq and you want to speak to your mother, or
Right.
your grandmother simply wondering if your granddaughter in California likes the sweater that you bought her for her birthday.
Maybe we don't
you
wanna know
can-
that.
Oh, that's true. You can see it either way. You see people's real expressions, and you know, it's almost like being there,
right.
which is delightful.
This is just amazing, isn't it?
It is.
But you think about letters, which was all people had at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, and they're wonderful. We're probably losing a little bit of that,
are a
aren't we?
little bit.
But at the same time, the messages that we can get back and forth. What else you want to tell us about social networking that you think is important?
Sure. Well, you know, I think that there's a couple things. I think first describing what social networking is.
Yes,
It's kind of an
that's
unusual
that's a good
term.
point. What is that?
Really, it's about increasing your friends or turning acquaintances into friends based on mutual interests. So it's really just about meeting new people based on the interests that you have. And social media or websites online have really given us the opportunity now to do that no matter where we are. So an easy way to describe a social network is the people you may go to church with. It could be your neighbors. It could be people that go to the same gym as you. And while you might not know everyone at each of those locations, you do have that mutual common interest.
Right.
So the opportunity is there that you could become friends. And through your internet and computer, you're able to then become friends with them. So that's basically the ideas, those two terms, that social media and social networking. And when you have those together, then you're able to go do all these things we were talking about,
Exactly.
like your two-way video conferencing, or you know, writing back and forth, playing games, even interactively.
Right. There are a lot of games being played.
There
on
are.
Facebook,
There are.
Facebook.
That's
I'm sorry.
Yep. There are many games. So if you like card games or board games, you can play those with a friend who may have a little less mobility than yourself.
Okay.
For example, I have a step-grandmother who isn't as mobile as I'd like her to be, but we can play
But you
Scrabble.
play Scrabble together.
Exactly, together.
So
at
there's
any
probably no
point in
game
the
you
day.
can't play.
That's absolutely true, and so it feels like you're spending time right with one another,
So you can
having
be
that
connected with stories, with games, with
Exactly.
conversations,
Yes.
with Skype.
Yes.
So that's what social networking means.
It really is that idea of you know, going online, staying connected, and sometimes even meeting new people. You can meet
Talk
people
about that.
through.
How do you meet new people online, or is that a
Sure.
safe thing to do?
Well, you know, you have to use some common sense. I
Yes.
always tell people that think of it as if a person's coming to your front door. So if it's a total stranger and they came and they knocked on your front door and they said, "Can you tell me your bank account information, please?" You obviously wouldn't share it.
Right.
The same idea applies here. If it's a total stranger knocking on your door, so to speak, through your website, then it's okay to say, you know, I'm not comfortable meeting you. But there is this opportunity to meet friends of friends or other people. Maybe you've noticed somebody new has been coming to the gym and you're
Right.
interested in meeting them.
Knowing a little more about them.
If you happen to belong to the same sort of site, you have that opportunity to just type in their name or look for their picture
Yes.
and then start a dialogue online.
Well, on Facebook, to exchange information with
Yes.
people, you have to friend them.
You
do you want
do.
to talk about that a
You
little bit?
do have
or
to
is
friend
it okay
them.
to unfriend?
It is okay to unfriend, and it's okay to deny friends as well.
It seems impolite, but
It
I
does.
have certainly learned to do that.
I'm sure when you know you're a public figure that you know being being in the limelight, you do have to learn to say
no, thank
no,
you.
thank you, and it is absolutely polite to do so. I do the same as well regularly. So yes, you go online and you can search, and we'll show that later today,
all right.
take people through those steps. But
good.
you search for someone or a place, and then you have the ability then to simply like them or friend them. And when you do that, you're saying, I'd like to see the things that you're talking about, and I'd like to share the things I'm talking about with you. And once you have that, you've built your group.
When you first start on Facebook or any of the
Sure.
other medium, you can simply be a friend
You can.
and just read other people's. You don't have to post anything, do
You
you?
don't.
Or you can.
You can
What
or
kinds of
can't.
things do people post?
Well, you know, that varies wildly.
Of course.
But I think the most popular things to post are if you're doing something exciting in your life. So say you get engaged, or your
you
daughter
want to
finds
announce
out.
it, of
You want
course.
to announce it to many people that you care about. That's the type of thing you might announce. Having a new baby. You might post something simply like, I'm not feeling well today. Could somebody give me a hand? Is anybody available to come over and visit?
Yes.
So even those sort of calls out to your friends.
And it's
are
amazing, isn't
fine.
it, how that spreads and
It
people
is.
respond.
They do.
With
They do.
the congratulations that start appearing, let's
They
say, if
do.
you announce your engagement or some of the things, the good news that you talked about. Or
Most
my
definitely.
grandchild is coming for a visit. Oh, good, can I bring anything? Or whatever.
Perfect. That's a perfect example of things people might update or post. They also share pictures regularly, and I know that's always a joy, if, especially with new grandchildren, if they're not in the state, you're able to see all the pictures going on of what's happening.
One of the things that I personally have found I've enjoyed is people share links to things that they think are important.
Yes.
Here's a news story I think you'll like. Or one of the most powerful things I saw recently, people said, look at Congressman Gabby Gifford's speech on YouTube.
It's amazing.
Very moving speech about this courageous woman and how she was recovering. But just, you had to watch it. But all you had to do was click on that link, and there you were.
That's exactly it. You know, people post amazing videos. I have to confess that I get most of my news
I do too.
through Facebook these days. You know, I follow the Wall Street Journal on there,
course.
so it's a legit news source.
I must admit, I get a little tired of the pictures of cats and dogs. There are a lot of people posting every picture they've ever seen.
You do have a lot of pet pictures, but
they
you know,
are cute.
They are cute, and it does bring you joy. And I have to say, you know, a new puppy or a baby laughing, you know, are
The
wonderful
real
things.
ones I like. The ones that are posed with funny captions are the,
Yes.
are
Yes,
the interesting
those
ones.
are
I must
really
admit,
fun.
I put a lot of pictures of my Bernese mountain dog up there as well.
Understandably, and you know what's
What do you
fun
post?
about
What do you
that?
like to post?
You know, I post a lot of articles. I agree with
You
that.
help
I
people
help
get
people-
information.
Exactly. You share that information of things that I think are important for individuals to know about. I also will comment a lot on
Other
things my
people's.
friends posted.
Oh, and talk about liking.
Yes, yes. Sometimes, you know, you simply don't want to make a comment necessarily. There's nothing that you want to say, but you really like something that somebody put online. So you're very excited for them that they had a new grandchild in your instance.
Right, and so you
can just click one little button and it gives a silly thumbs up, you know, but it's a universal symbol.
I like that very much, and if you will stay tuned, we'll be right back with more learning as well as laughing. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back with more.
Did you miss the latest and greatest on TWC TV? Well, as a digital cable customer, you've got TWC TV Video on Demand, free. You like sports? See high school and professional sports, free. Join Adventures in New England's Great Outdoors, free. Encounter interesting people living in Maine and New Hampshire, all for free. TWC TV Video on Demand. Experience your community when you want, how you want. And did I mention for free? Find us on Channel 950. If we're not there, check us out on Channel 1 under the local category.
Spectrum Generations. Live healthy, live well. Get answers, get connected. Spectrum Generations, specializing in the art of aging.
Life should be celebrated. It's a special day when family and friends gather together to celebrate the life of a loved one. A celebration of life helps us honor our loved one and keep our memories alive. Whether you're planning a traditional funeral, a creative celebration of life, or a blend of both, at Knowlton Hewins Roberts, we are truly committed to meet the personal and unique needs of you and your family. Knowlton Hewins Roberts. Visit us online or visit our 2 locations in Augusta and Winthrop.
Welcome back to Mature Lifestyles. Today we are keeping in touch online, and Heidi Werpel is our guide, and we've gotten so excited about doing some of the things she's told us. Heidi, how? I want to go home. I want to do it now. Help us.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Libby, there's a few things that you're going to need.
Okay.
First and foremost, you're going to want a computer or access to one. I know this show's told you before that you can go to the library and access a computer there, or you can go to any of the Spectrum Generation Centers and access computers.
So you can have your own, but you can also use a public one.
Exactly.
Okay.
And computers now come in many shapes and sizes for many prices. You can have a desktop, which is your larger one that stays in place, a laptop like the one that we've been using today, and then a tablet, which the iPad is the most famous of those, and that's simply a touch screen. That's what's different about the tablet, and it's about the size of a book, or a smartphone, which is the size of a phone and is able to access the internet as well.
It's like a mini computer.
It's like a mini computer, exactly. After you have your computer, you're going to need internet access as well. And that comes in different shapes and forms these days as well. It can be a cable to your wall. It can be Wi-Fi or wireless internet. And there can be data networks that you buy through your cell phone carrier. So that's your Sprint or your T-Mobile, AT&T, etc.
So we need our equipment.
You need your equipment and you need connection. And once you have those 2 things, you're ready to run.
All right, let's go. What do we do?
So to run, you are going to want to first turn on your computer, obviously, and get yourself going. And then you're going to want to find your internet browser, and that's what's going to get you online. And those can look like a lot of different things these days because there are many different types. You open that up, and then at the top of your screen, you're going to see a little bar that is blank where you can type in information. And this is where you place the address, almost like addressing an envelope.
Right.
It's where you want to go, what you want to do.
Just type it in.
You just type it right in. So once you do that, you find the website. We spoke about Facebook a lot earlier today. So here's an example of how you might type Facebook in that URL bar at the top of your computer. And once you're there, you're ready to start engaging. And I'm not sure, would you like to learn more about how to actually
Yes,
start?
because we all have things to do this afternoon.
Okay. Well, basically, when you go to the website, you're going to need to sign up. And now the important thing about signing up is that this is private information. The only people that are going to see this is the company. So it's very secure, and most of these websites we've talked about are totally free. So after you sign up, you can then log in, which just requires an email, which you can also get for free, and a basic password. And
how do you sign up? What does that mean?
Signing up means you go to the website and you provide them very basic information. Usually it requires your name, your age, because they want to make sure that you're not too young to be using these, and as well as an email address and a password that only you know.
But it's private.
It's very private.
All right.
So all that information
we've signed up, and now we can log in.
So you've signed up, now you can log in. And when you log in, you do want to create something that will be more public now. And so they call that a profile or an account on most of these sites we've discussed. And usually I recommend at least writing your name and the town that you live in. And if you have a picture that you can put up of yourself, that's helpful as well. And so with those 3 things, people are able to find you that may want to find you, so family members or friends. And they're able to interact with you then after you've created that basic profile.
Okay.
So I know I spoke about finding people. They can find you.
So if
or
I
you
wanted
can
to find
them.
Heidi Werpel,
Yes.
I would what?
You would go to the top of your bar, and you would type in the search area, which usually looks like a little magnifying glass, a little blank space with a magnifying glass. you would type in Heidi Werpel. Here we've shown Spectrum Generations.
Oh,
So I've
okay.
started
Even
typing
better.
in Spectrum. You can find both people and places, which is always nice.
Okay.
And again, you're finding this information to add them to your page, your news feed or
Okay.
personal newspaper to get their information daily.
So on Facebook you have people.
You have
But
people.
you also have Spectrum Generations.
You also have places like Spectrum Generations, and when you share information with people, they see your information and you see theirs, but when you share, when you decide that you want to like, again that silly thumbs
Right.
up, a place, then you are only asking to see their information.
Oh, okay.
They can't see yours.
They can't see yours.
They can't
All
see
right.
yours. So there's a lot of privacy built right in.
Good.
And you know, that's really important when you're
Really
talking
is.
about this, is you want to be able to set privacy settings, and most of these websites allow you to do that. So only your friends can see the information. You just need to go, there's a little triangle in the top on Facebook that you can
Okay.
pull down and go set your privacy settings to friends only. And that will keep you protected.
That's great.
In all the ways you need to. And you know, honestly, with those steps, just getting on, logging in, and then finding the people you want to talk to,
And there
that's
you
it.
are. And
That's
it's
it.
free.
And it's free. It's all free.
Exactly.
So it's a wonderful
So it
tool.
really is circles. I know that you had the
Yes.
circles of
Yes.
community is what it
Yes.
creates.
It does. It creates those circles of community, and I often will sit and do just that. Think through, well, boy, who at my church would I want to connect
Yes.
with, or who at the gym would I want to connect with? And I just reach out to check those people, and if they're there, I add them as a friend.
How frequently do you visit the site
I-
or your sites that you care about?
Sure. I would say that you can do it as much as daily. I know I often do because of the work that I do.
Sometimes it can be a little addictive too.
It
You have to
can
be
be.
careful not to spend
It can
24
be
hours a
because
day on there.
You do
It's
really
fun.
start. It's fun, and you start being with your loved ones.
Exactly.
And that feels really nice. But I would say at least weekly. Once a week, you want to go find out what people have been up
What
to.
if you get stuck and you don't know how to do this? How do you get help?
I think the best advice I can give is when you decide to do this, and I hope you will, you can go and tell your friends and family members who you know are already doing this. They are always
You usually
willing
call
to
a
help.
teenager, don't you?
You do. You call your local teenager.
Or even younger
Or
now.
even younger.
Even
They-
younger now.
they can
I
take you through
am
it.
totally shocked. I have a 4-year-old grandson who is so adept with all of this stuff.
It's
I
really
mean, I'm not saying that he can do all the entering that
Sure,
you just did, but
sure.
he can certainly play the games on his iPhone.
Right, right. And so yes, reaching out to people, write a letter that you're there, or go to
Now,
Spectrum
are there
Generations
games on
Cafe.
Facebook too?
There are
So you're
games
on
on
here, you're
Facebook, too.
communicating with people. How do you
Yes.
get to games?
So
or do we care?
Well,
We do
there's
care.
there's a lot of different gaming sites. Facebook is one. There's also one called Pogo, which I
Okay,
can bring you to,
all right.
and that's totally free. Let me just find that on here. So we were talking earlier about playing these games.
Yes.
And so there's this silly one called POGO, Pogo.com, and you can play board games.
And you can
puzzle
play them
games,
with someone in
and
another place.
You can play them with someone in another place, and so
Okay.
that's delightful.
That's how you did it with your step grandmother.
Yes,
you said.
exactly. So you can do it here, or you can do that on Facebook. If Facebook isn't right for you, here's another free site that could work for playing
So
games.
Facebook is an example. There are plenty of other things out there.
Exactly.
And but getting started is the key, isn't it?
Getting started is the key. Finding what you want to do. Maybe you want to meet new people through, as a companion, dating.
Exactly.
So-
Talk about that.
so,
That's always of interest.
Yes, I mean, there are those ideas where, you say, gosh, I'd really like to reach out to new people. And so there are sites like yourseniormatch.com. And so you can go there and say that I am a woman and I'm interested in meeting a man, and I'd like their age to be between 45 and 90. I mean, let's keep it broad. You can set it to whatever you'd like. And then you just enter that information, and you can start seeing other people who are seeking people just like you.
We're anxious to find out the results of that
Most
search.
definitely.
We'll take a brief commercial break and be right back with more of Staying in Touch online.
Spectrum Generations. Live healthy. Live well. Get answers. Get connected. Spectrum Generations, specializing in the art of aging.
Let's connect. Main Street. Main Street. Let's connect. Only on TWC TV. Thursdays at 7. Thursdays at 7:30. Tune in to your community. It's Let's Connect in Main Street. Only on TWC TV on Time Warner Cable.
Welcome back to Mature Lifestyles. When we left you last, we were just in something so exciting. I'm taking Heidi right back there, dating or finding a good person to get to know better online.
Most
Would you
definitely.
sort of take us back to how we do that?
Sure. Well, you can go to a number of websites. You may have seen on the TV eHarmony or Match.com,
Yes.
and they have senior versions of those sites. And you
People
can
really
go to
do
them.
that, right?
They
It's
really
safe?
do that.
It's safe.
It is safe, though I would advise don't give out your personal physical address on that site until certainly you've met the person a number of times. And when you do go to meet the person for the first time, pick somewhere public.
Very public
Yep,
place.
just go somewhere very
So
public.
initially, you just communicate via the computer.
Exactly.
That is very exciting. I love the title of your site. Could you read that to us?
This is the seniormatch.com. And there's also eHarmony.com.
All right.
So we have
very
those.
happy couple there.
Yes, very happy couples.
Very happy couple there. Okay, so if you are going to have romance, you need music. Can you listen to music on here?
You definitely can listen to music. It's a great way to find out music that maybe your friends are listening to or that you're listening to. So you can go find all those old tunes that you like to listen to
How do you
or
do
new
that?
ones. So there's a lot of different websites. One very popular one is called Spotify. Spotify. Spotify.
Okay.
So that's a great way to do it. Though
What do
there
you do?
are
You
others.
click, you go to that site.
You go to
and-
that site and you have to download it to your computer, but it's
Is
just
that free also?
It is, and it's a click of a button, and then you can start going about and finding various.
And does that show up in your news feed that you're listening to something on Spotify?
You can choose to do so on Facebook, as we were discussing before.
Well, we are running out of time much too fast. You are such a wonderful expert in this, and you make it look so much fun. And you clearly show that it spans the generations. Both young people like you and seniors like me can enjoy this. So, what are your words of wisdom to the people who are watching today?
Just get going and have fun, and let people know that you're interested in this. And I promise they're going to help you and be so excited that you're joining in on this social media revolution.
And so it's easy to do.
It's very
And so
easy
we're
to do.
hoping that everybody who sees you is inspired to go out and log in, create a Facebook page or whatever you think makes sense.
Definitely.
And how did you get into this as a consultant?
You know, I stumbled into it during college, and then my degree is in marketing, and so as a consultant, I
And
had to
Heidi,
learn about it.
You are a wonderful consultant, and thank you for being with us. We have certainly lived, laughed, and learned today, and I hope that you will join us frequently on Mature Lifestyles. Spectrum Generations really knows how to bring us what we need. Thank you.
Mature Lifestyle is made possible by Knowlton Hewins Roberts Funeral Homes and Cremation Service. Our homes are warm and welcoming, and we take care of you and your family like we would our own. Call us anytime. We are here for you.
You're watching TWC TV only on Time Warner Cable.